Hey guys, welcome to another session with Will. Obviously, I'm Will, if you haven't guessed. Today we're going to do a little bit of foam rolling, kind of runners focused really. I have, and some of my clients have got a lot of running coming up. So we're going to keep on top of keeping our bodies ready and willing to keep going. This one is, or this foam roller, does pop off, hopefully maybe. So most of you will probably just have a little foam roller which will roll on the floor. The one I've got comes in a little contraption, so I'm not chasing it across the floor while I'm rolling around. But either works. We'll go through the routine that I usually like to do. I usually like to do a little bit of upper back and lower back. This just helps to release your muscle sheath, so to speak, like the fascia around the muscle, and it also helps to work on some of the knots that we build up as we train and go about our day-to-day lives. Just spend sort of anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds on each one. If you find you've got particular sore spots, they'll be quite a sort of, not sharp, but you'll know if you've got a knot in there. You can like pinpoint it and roll yourself on that point specifically for a little bit longer, just to work that knot out. That's the back. Next I'm going to work on my quads. So this is just like a little roller, so I can do one leg at a time. If you've got a long roller, you could potentially do both at once. So the good thing with doing this is you've got a bit of control over how much body weight you put down. So if you want to take it nice and easy because you're quite tender, you can just rest a little bit of weight on it. But if you're a little bit sadistic or you're used to it, you can push a bit more weight down into it. Again, we're kind of looking for those knots. If you find a knot, I've got one there, just sort of put a little bit of weight against it, roll it backwards and forwards. Try not to swear. Enjoy it. Then swap over, make sure you do both sides. Rolls about a bit on this mat, or slides about even. Tighten that hip area for myself, so spend a little bit of time there. Rolling up to full length. And then I go on to hamstrings. So what I like about, apart from on this mat, it's running away from me, is normally with a roller you'll be like rolling halfway down your living room or your hallway or your bedroom, wherever you're doing your rolling. The nice thing with this is it's all in one place, and I'm not sliding down the living room. Again, if you've got any like little knots or anything, find them in there. Spend a little bit of time pushing it against it and rolling back and forwards just to work it out. Swap legs over, always do both sides. for me. A nice knot there. The nice thing about this is you don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. Sort of 5 to 10 minutes after a run, or 5 to 10 minutes after a hot bath or a hot shower, because you want your body to be warm when you're doing this. Makes huge difference in how your body performs. I unfortunately learned it the hard way because I got lax on my maintenance, my body maintenance, and quite a while ago ended up getting ITB issues, a band which runs from your hip down to the top of your bottom half of your leg, called your IT band. Gives you a horrendous pain in your knee when it starts going, and usually it's caused by a hip flexor issue. It just puts a lot of tension on that band, which then pulls in your knee, and like I say, it's not very comfortable, it's not fun. But by keeping on top of maintenance routines like foam rolling, it's certainly helped alleviate those issues, as well as some exercises to make sure that glutes are firing, glute medius is firing, hip flexors are firing correctly. So we're doing our calf now, exactly the same process, we're just putting a bit of pressure down on it, backwards and forwards. I mean, you can go to the side a little bit if you want. Yeah, little knot in there for me. And also obviously the inside. For anyone that is actually watching this, when I do these videos, would you like me to go into details on how the calves or how the different muscle groups are made up? The calf has two main muscles. I know some people aren't interested in it, so it just overcomplicates things, so I'm not going to go into details. But if there are people that are interested in the details, then let me know, and I can talk through them. Be a good way to reinforce that knowledge to myself as well, because while I do know it, I don't use the terminology very often. Ooh. And anything that's not used can soon be forgotten, unfortunately. This calf is brutal. So one thing I really like about this is I can now take this, and where I've got a platform on it, I can push down onto my shin area and give that a good roll. Which is horrendous and horrible. Self-maintenance isn't necessarily a fun thing to do. Swap over. I mean, if you're not able to do this with your foam roller, you can, of course, keep your foam roller on the floor and lay over the top of it. I'll quickly demonstrate that for you. So while we're in this position, if we're in an all fours type of position, we've got one knee on the floor supporting us, as well as our two hands. This allows us to choose how much pressure we put onto our foam roller. So if we find our shins are quite sensitive, we can put more weight onto our knee that's on the floor and into our hands, so it's quite a gentle foam roll. But if our shins are kind of used to this, you can add in an extra, sorry, that's quite sore, add in an extra bit of body weight into the foam roller and really get in there nice and deep, which is quite disgusting. There you go, swap over, make sure we do both sides. So now you can see where I've got the knee on the floor. And all I'm doing is trying not to swear, because this one always hurts. But it is definitely worth it by the end of it. And there we go. Again, primarily runners focused, primarily designed to really get some maintenance put into the legs. Hope it's useful for you. Give it a thumbs up if it was useful for you. If there's anything you'd like covered, future video, or need a little bit more detail, drop me a comment at the bottom. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.